I'm Brian.
And I'm Liam.
This is The Playbook.
I hope you enjoyed the episode.
Is it on?
It is on.
Live.
And direct.
Liam,
Brian,
welcome back to this week's episode.
thank you very much.
You're welcome.
How's your week been?
Good. Busy.
Busy week.
Has
Crazy
been
week.
It has been busy, hasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's coming in waves. Like 2 weeks ago, I felt it was quiet. And then last week was just hectic.
I think it could be people rushing before Ramadan. Like people think it's going to slow down for Ramadan or whatever.
Potentially.
Like a lot less people in the market or whatever. But anyways, we digress. We don't want to get into a little tangent before we even start.
Digress. I like it.
Yeah, I picked it up last week.
Reading the dictionary again.
Yeah, back to front. This week we're going to talk about our biggest hacks to increase your performance in our experience as a real estate agent in Dubai.
Yeah. Whatever's increased our performance, basically. I suppose, what are you defining a hack as?
You'll see. So it's like personal, professional.
Yes, like the way I was. Sorry, go on.
No.
The way I was thinking of it was basically something that is a very minimal input that can give you a maximum output. So like a huge difference on your output from something very minimal.
Okay, we'll see.
Things.
We'll see how I took it and you took it and the difference.
Okay. Completely off the bat again.
Yeah. Before we get into that, Leon last week. Operator. What did you take away? What was your one big key takeaway from that?
From last week, absolutely great conversation with him. Got from a man that's never sat down in front of a mic and a camera before. Like he's comfortable. He knows what he's talking about. I think definitely with Leon is the fact that he took such a huge step coming over here, and I think how his mindset around taking that leap and pushing boundaries and putting yourself out there and in that zone of discomfort, and how he handles that and sees the discomfort as a benefit. It's definitely that mindset for me. That's what I took out of it anyway. Just kind of reinstating the fact that like this discomfort is progress.
Yeah.
How about you?
For me, it was when he was speaking about leaning into the discomfort or the uncertainty. That's what it was. The uncertainty, like it was a reminder for me that, nothing is certain in life. Like you don't know if you're really on the right track, if you're going in the right direction. Like it's only hindsight. When you look back, you can actually point to that as you understanding that it was the right decision to make. Like if you're pursuing anything worthwhile, like you're going to be uncertain. Like he said, it feels like he's just falling forward. Like,
yeah.
And that really spoke to me. Like it just kept coming up. Like if you're an entrepreneur, if you're, commission only, if you're, forced to be in an uncomfortable situation, it's going to be uncertain. Like it being uncertain is a symptom that it is something that's worthwhile. Like for me, I don't like the certainty, but the uncertainty can be really uncomfortable. Like if I knew exactly what I was going to make, my complete path forwards, what the next 10, 20 years would look like for me, it'd be relatively boring for me anyways. So it's his ability to be comfortable with the uncomfortable, certain with the uncertainty, and keep going forward regardless of how he's feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought very interesting too is how much that breakup with him and Dean with Embassy back at home, like having to split up that partnership that they had worked for, was it 2 years, 2.5 years at that stage, could be more, and how you overlook that, how difficult that is, not just to actually go out on your own, but to go through the motions of, look, I'm going to go do my own thing, you're doing your own thing here, and I wish you the best. I thought that was a really interesting point of it, because it's something I never really would have thought of, like that business partnership breakup.
Being able to walk away from that, like, is you have to commend it. Like, you really do, like, to be able to, like, yeah, I assume a lot of people would have thought he was making the wrong decision, like,
absolutely,
or probably, like, as in, if you look at a successful business or whatever, that you just set up and then somebody decides to move away from it. I'd say there was opinions that it was the wrong thing to do, like, but yeah, it seems like he just wasn't taking other people's things into a factor and was just thinking what was best for him, what was best for him and his partner, and what he could see himself for his future. So
yeah, and I think you have to remember your mindset in that time, because obviously walking away from something like that in a year's time when you're having your bad days and you're like, oh, the bit of when uncertainty's creeping in, you look back and like, oh, I could be doing this and that would be so safe right now. But I think you have to remember that mentality that you're in at that time, because I get that firsthand, even from just when I had that business back at home, like, and even I was speaking to you last week about it, I was like, what the fuck was going through my head at that stage? Like, that would have been such a cushy number now to be doing that. But I think you do forget the mindset you're in at that time, like, and you'll always do what feels right in the time. I think you have to just tell yourself that as well.
Yeah, that good decision. But yeah, it took so much away from him. Absolute gent. So if anybody hasn't listened to that, it's definitely worthwhile. It's not just
absolutely. And if anyone's looking for an online coach, get on to LMK online.
Yeah,
plug up our man Leon.
I love how he was able to pull out so many kind of interesting learnings, like, from that. It wasn't like he was talking about like calories in versus calories out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Track, whatever, and lift weights in the gym. Like, it's
like, because we didn't get him on to be an online coach. Like, we got him on for his views on business and performing at the level he's performing at, and that's exactly what we got.
And he's got some good ideas, like, and good thoughts, and he's a serious thinker and operator, and an avid man of the Saturday Social.
Yeah, anybody wants to meet Leon in person, get down to our Saturday Social. He'll be there. You can ask him all the questions you want.
Plug,
yeah.
But yeah,
so
into this week's topic, I'm gonna let you go first. Age before beauty and all that.
Shock. Let me go first. Yeah, so this first, as Brian was saying.
Always got the pen and paper out for this one.
Yep. Preparation. Failed to prepare, Brian.
I got it up on my phone.
Old school. Age before beauty, as you said. So look, we went off our hacks. It's so many. I had to just write them all down.
That's a lie. You had 4 until I told you it was 6. We've got 6 each. So your first one, Liam.
Got 6 each. I didn't. These are in no way of importance or how I find them. This was kind of me just going through my week, being like, okay, what did I do this week that I have kind of brought into my week in recent times that I feel helped me. I'm gonna get this one in there good and early because I know you're gonna have it.
If it's something that I do that you don't do, I'm gonna. Okay, go.
Why?
Okay, what is it?
That the weekend, Brian, is a social construct. Is that one of yours?
No.
Oh, that's all right then.
Okay, what's your first one?
That is it.
Oh, that is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you
I have
bring
to
this?
develop these out now.
Yeah, and you have to speak about how you do this.
No, I think the whole two of my points have kind of led into this. The whole, obviously, with the flexibility we have to work whenever we want. Well, not work whenever you want, but you have got flexibility within your working week. I think to be able to, if you're not feeling like working on a Wednesday, or you like to have a Wednesday, something midweek off when, I don't know, maybe the beach is quiet or shops are quiet or whatever. Whereas like taking that Wednesday off, if that's what's going to recharge your battery, taking that Wednesday off, don't worry about work on the Wednesday and work on your Saturday and Sunday or whatever. No, but this does, to be fair, this does come a lot from
you. Don't do that. You don't take a Wednesday off.
No, I'm just saying an example.
All right. But how do you use it? How do you use this hack?
So basically, on our Saturdays, we're still working on a Saturday. I think this does come a lot from learnings of Brian. But just Brian and his social constructs. Fucking hell. If I hear this man come up with one more thing that's a social construct.
But a weekend is.
No, it is.
Though.
I agree. That's why it's here. I agree with you. I agree with you. Jesus, taking it personal.
No.
And no, but basically, yeah, your weekend is technically a social construct. When people are still out doing viewings, looking for properties, looking for rentals, looking for sales on a Saturday and a Sunday, like, why should you put your feet up and take that Saturday and Sunday off? And to be fair, the Sunday is the day I take off. But it is just a fact that's not set in stone. Do you know what I mean? If you wanted to work Saturday, Sunday and take your Monday off, chances are no one's stopping you. Like, so I suppose like if you're able to lean into that and take, say you wanted your Monday off, and don't give in to going out on a Friday and Saturday because that is the norm and that's what everyone's doing. I think your productivity will definitely raise. I know from us working on a Saturday, it stops us going out on that Friday night. Your Saturday is so much more productive because of it. Because Friday isn't the start of your weekend. Do you know what I mean? Saturday evening is. Do you know when you finish your work on a Saturday, grand, you have that off to do whatever you want. But yeah, I found that definitely helped me getting out of the headspace where hitting Friday evening at 6 o'clock, you're like, oh, it's the weekend. Great. So kind of burying that and just thinking Friday is a Tuesday or Friday is a Wednesday, just the usual. I'm into work again tomorrow morning. This is no different than any other day of the week. Grand, my Saturday might be a bit more relaxed than my Wednesday or Thursday maybe, but still keeping in the headspace of tomorrow's a day of work. But yeah, that's pretty much where I came from with the social construct of a weekend. Like, it's
reframing your thinking. Like, it's like, that's what it is. Like, because it's weird. Everyone's kind of living for the weekend. You can understand why that is the case. Like school, university, normal 9-to-5 jobs, Monday to Friday, then you've got a weekend off. But business doesn't stop. If you're an entrepreneur, you might take weekends off. Could be your busiest period. I
think especially here, the fact there's so many teachers. Monday to Friday is really set in stone.
I think it's the social, like your social surroundings as well. But I've always had an issue with just living for the weekend because it makes me not appreciate like the average. Like, so it's like what I think it was Tim Ferriss said, like your life should be just an accumulation of average Tuesdays. So like if you've got an unbelievable average Tuesday, like then that's you, like you're set. So like it's so that my Monday to Sunday look the same. They all relatively feel the same. Like one isn't just a rebound after some really strict Monday to Friday. So it's working that in, having something a bit more sustainable.
It's not easy to do either, because there is like, you do have things you want to do in your weekend. Like you can't just block out that it's not the weekend. As you said, it's just trying to change that mindset. But yeah, not easy. I get hit with on a Friday evening still. I'm just like, oh, Friday evening. I think it's just wired into me from last year.
100%.
But yeah, Friday evening, first thing I want to do is just like, as I said to you leaving the office yesterday, I was like, oh, Brian, we'll just go to West Beach and have 1 pint.
And watch the sunset. You tried to pull
That was my hook. That was my hook. And it didn't land either. There was no bait on it.
No, I thought...
No, the sun's gone down now.
Yeah, no, it's gone now. Okay, I'll go on to my own because I'm conscious we're going to keep chatting. First hack for me to increase my performance in work is sleep. I mean, this is an obvious one for some people, but sleep has been a massive one for me. Like the second I dialed in my sleep, like the difference has been just insane. Like, and there's hacks within this hack. So it's like a consistent sleep and wake time. It's a noise cancellation earphones if you have it. It's a wind down ritual before bed. So for me, it could be putting on the blue light blockers, and that's not because there's actually blue light in my phone that makes me not sleep. It's because I'm associating putting the blue light blockers on and my body going to sleep. It's the not eating before bed. So there's like a model 3-2-1. So last meal 3 hours before sleep, last drink of water 2 hours before sleep, and then phone off last hour before sleep. I don't practice that. It's just something that somebody could incorporate. I find that quite difficult, so that's not really for me.
My guy comes home and has a banquet in the evenings before bed.
A banquet, a 3-course meal. No, but I try to finish up eating by 8, like 100%, or 6:30. And yes, the wind down before bed. It's the switching off the phone. It's switching off the head, and then first thing in the morning, not checking the phone straight away. I noticed this like night and day. The days that I've slept badly, like I went through a period of sleeping really badly last year. Last March, I was sharing a room with somebody, and oh my God, the days that I went into the office with bad sleep, like I was operating off like broken sleep. Like I was waking up every single hour, and I was just a mess in work. I was just a mess. I was waiting for days to finish. I felt just completely unmotivated, inability to focus. I felt like I would crave so much shit food. But the difference between a good night's sleep and consistently sleeping well and not is just ridiculous. Like I don't feel sleepy during the days and like during the day anymore. I don't feel tired like I used to.
Yeah.
And it's literally only, it's not from like increasing my sleep, but it's just having some good sleep hygiene. So I'm usually asleep by 9:30, latest 10, up at 5:30. So what's that, like 7.5?
Yeah, and to be fair to you, you stick to that during the weekends too. Like, okay, right, you might stay up a bit later on a Saturday night or whatever, but like this morning, what were you up at? Sunday
6,
morning, up at 6. Do you know what I mean? That's there or thereabouts, you know. And that's definitely one place I could improve. Like, do like a lie in on a Sunday morning.
I know I was the same, but I thought I was doing myself a justice by sleeping in and taking longer. But I think there's like carrying that into the weekend, same consistent sleep and wake time. Like it could be plus or minus into the weekend, because I don't want to be getting up at 5:30 in the morning on the weekends, or going to sleep at 9:30. But
yeah,
that's been
absolutely,
massive for me.
absolutely. And I know what you're like when you don't get your sleep. So I feel sorry for whoever was sitting beside you and work at them days.
Oh my god, yeah. The whole yeah.
Everybody knew, and Brian didn't sleep.
Yeah, if I don't sleep well. Yeah, it's not even the long. It's not the length of time that you need. It's the quality. Of sleep.
Yeah. Guess that's me up next then. Yeah.
It is indeed.
Simple one. So such a basic, but so important. I find it's just knowing the fucking information of what you're renting. I think we spoke of this before about spreading yourself thin, versus focusing on one single area and knowing the information. And the reason I'm saying that as a hack is because that leads into your confidence, and your confidence just radiates. If you're on a viewing and you're confident, your client knows you're confident, the owner you're meeting is confident, there's no question that they can ask you that's going to rattle you or knock you. So focusing on an area and just knowing the information, knowing the square footage, knowing the service charges, knowing every single thing about that area, and having that confidence is huge. Like, if someone walks into the room, you can feel their confidence, how they stand, how they speak, their body language, everything. And I think it's the very same if you walk into viewing. Like, I have a property in JGE. I got one off a guy because he left the company. And I know myself going to them viewings, like, I don't know enough about this area. And I'll hold my hands up, like, if I'm on a viewing, I'll explain this situation. I was like, look, I got this property off a colleague of mine. This is an area I focus on. If you need any more information, I can get it for you, but I don't know it off the top of my head, because I don't want to be there and getting rattled and trying to pretend and caught out and talking bollocks. Like,
that's it. Yeah, you let down early. Like,
yeah, literally. Like, this is what the story is. But yeah, I think that was huge for me. You can walk into your viewing then like big swinging dick. Like, I know all the information. You can't ask me in here that I'm not going to know. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You can tell yourself you're the best broker in the world, because for this particular property at this time, there's no one else that's going to know more information than you. Yeah. And your clients will feel that. They'll be like, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. He's comfortable. He's relaxed. Why would we go anywhere else?
Yeah. Like a few points on that. First of all, I hate that feeling of walking in and not knowing. There's nothing worse. No. Not knowing where like the lifts are or whatever. Just like properly, like, it gives me such a pain. My stomach, I'm like, I hate this.
It's the little things too. Not knowing where the lift is, or not knowing where the gym is, or
it's an accumulation of those. Like, it's like if your client sees just like strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, but like it just becomes so natural after a while. Like, for those, if anybody's listening that's relatively new to the industry, it will be like that at the start. The only way to get over that is by repetitions, and a hack within that is by doing rentals first. Like, I've said this before, like, I was doing like 30 whatever rental viewings per week over a 7-day period. Like, there's no way over a 9 or 12 months period that I wouldn't know it inside out. Like, it's because I've had the repetitions of rental viewings rather than in sales. Like, I might get 3, 4, 5 whatever per week. It's a bit slower. People are less inclined to get out for sales viewings. It's more difficult to get into tenanted apartments. So the rentals is low hanging fruit. Like, it's a way to build up your knowledge and put some of your things into practice, because no amount for me personally of reading it off your sheet would I understand.
It does take time.
When you're in there, like, on your feet.
Yeah, it takes time. Do you know what I mean? You can't, like, even before I moved over here, I remember trying to study what the buildings were, a shoreline, and the types and everything. I didn't go in. Like, it's only until you're over here and you're actually in there and you're like, okay, this is such. But yeah, makes a huge difference. Well, it made a huge difference for me anyway. I found, even just with clients and client satisfaction, like they're much happier with the service you're providing.
100%.
Over to you, Brian.
On to me. This one for me is something I incorporated in 2024. This year, I'm on my 10th week of it, and I'm finding serious value from it. So every week, every Sunday or Monday morning, it's a weekly planner. It's a preview of the week and then a review of the week for myself. This is in my notes. I've got it already set up for the first 12 weeks of the year.
Do you mean set up as like a template?
On a template, yeah, in my notes on my iPhone. And then every Sunday evening, Monday morning, I go into this, and the first 3 things, I have a template, but the first ones are goals. So I've got 3 goals, 3 main goals for the week. That could be professionally, could be personally. Next block down is my downtime. So I scheduled in my downtime. So this week it was my men's circle, Sunday chill. And then I have my exercise. So Monday through Sunday of what my exercise looked like. So upper, whatever, tempo, legs. Most important tasks is down below that. So it could be like 7 to 8 most important tasks. So it could be specifically meeting one person, a deal progression on a certain unit, a live listing, something that I think of that when I go back on Friday being like, oh, did I do all the most important tasks I've done? And then on Sunday, I review the week. So it's what went well and what can be improved. It puts a nice full stop at the end of every week. It makes me work with intention. So it's just like really mapping it out, setting some goals every single week, and it's chunking down. So it's like, it's hard to set a goal for 1 year. It's so much easier to set a goal for 1 week. So it's just chunking down your big goals into smaller goals.
And I think setting a goal for a day is too flaky.
Yeah.
See what I mean? But yeah, absolutely. I think that's such a good way of putting it. I'm putting a full stop to your week.
Yeah.
I think that's deadly. Like,
and then just taking stock and reflecting and just being aware and living with intention and having control over your week and driving it forward rather than just being on reactive mode the whole time, just like dealing with whatever the week, instead of like waking up on a Monday morning being like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen to me today. It's just like, no, this is what has to get done. Like enduring these periods and anything other than that is a bonus.
Yes, and I've one that kind of fits in with that. Again, probably something I picked up from you. Well, no, it's something that I used to do in London, but you do it over here as well, and that's breaking down your day, like vigorously structuring your day, like per half an hour slot. So literally, we get in the morning, normally in the office for 8:20, 8:30 at our desks, and that kind of first half an hour when I'm having my coffee, I will just be structuring my day per half an hour slot, like the whole way up to pretty much 7. And that is as tight down to 15 minutes to have my oats in the morning, half an hour for lunch later on or whatever. And look, if I have to change them out during the day, I do. Like, so if things have to get swapped around, if a viewing went over by 15 minutes or half an hour, I'll go in and reschedule again for the next things. And there is some days I don't do it, but the days that I do it and I stick to it, I get shit done. Like, and I think even it's important to, if I have an hour and a half scheduled for cold outreach, once it hits that hour and a half, change it up. Like, even if you don't get everything you want to get done, you don't get all the calls you want to get made, change it up and move on to whatever your next time slot is. As you say, it keeps you accountable to what you had planned for that day. So at the end of the day, you kind of can't put your full stop in. It's like, look, I got this done, instead of I got all of this in task 1 done and I got none of task 2 done. But I think, yeah, that definitely helped me. Just it's almost like I used to write just a list of tasks I had to get done that day, and I wouldn't get half of them done.
Yeah.
And I think when you actually put the time on them and be like, okay, I'm done with this now, I don't have it finished, but I'm on to the next. At the end of the day, you get so much more done. For me, that was massive. Anyway, just being able to structure my day kind of cuts out procrastination a bit. You're not sitting around being like, oh, I've got 3 hours to do all of this.
Yeah.
And it just makes the day easier. The day is not so daunting. If there's a task you don't like doing, cold outreach or whatever, like, right, look, it's only half an hour slot here, a half an hour slot later, and a half an hour slot before I go home, and half an hour flight round.
Yeah.
Do you know, stick on the headphones and off you go.
100%. I've got the same one, so I may as well just get it out now. Point 3, yeah, so this is my third hack. Yeah, so mine's the exact same as yours, but I use Google Calendar for this. It's only something I've recently brought in.
Oh, I'm better than you.
No, but it's nice that I can, the second somebody says something, I just put into Google Calendar and then it comes up 10 minutes prior. So like, if it's a last minute viewing, I can just pop it in, and then 10 minutes prior, like I'll be 10 minutes away from any viewing. So if that comes in, and then I just don't forget about stuff. But first thing Monday morning, I set up the Google Calendar. So I put in the exercise for the week. It's only kind of scheduled day by day. It's hard for me to schedule the week. I know what the weekend would look like. Put in like a long run or the Saturday social or whatever that is. But yeah, it's the exact same for me. So like gym from 6:30 or 7 to 8. Set up for the day 8:30 to 9, 9 to 11 first block. So like I like to do 2 hours of block, and then like a 15-20 minute break. Then breakfast at 11:30, 12 to 2 another block, and then like you account for like random bullshit. So
we'd be
open time.
We'd be the easiest people to assassinate, you know that?
This is what I said. So funny. I said this to Kyle a few months back, and then Mark said it on the podcast with Kaizen, like that he'd be the easiest person to assassinate. It's so funny. It's just like, if you just literally sit downstairs with a sniper, then you just know that you pull the trigger at 11:30, you catch one of us.
You could walk away and come back. Oh, he's not going to be there for 20 minutes. We'll get him then.
This is the time he's sitting down. This is the time he's doing whatever. Yeah, and then I like chunk it down like into 2 hour blocks, like cold outreach, overdue tasks, schedule like 2 hours of like open time. So that's for like random last minute viewings. If I don't have anything, then I just put in something else. Easy finds, whatever it may be, getting live listings, admin shit.
Shit.
That forced structure is so important, because nobody's going to tell you to sit down at this time. Nobody's going to tell you that you can go on break at this time. Nobody's going to tell you that you have to get this done before you can go home or whatever. Like, you are completely in control. So that's why the structure is so important.
Yeah, because that flexibility is a blessing and a curse. So because if you're not one that has worked with your own structure before, you can just be up in the air. Like, you mightn't be able to kind of nail down and get your stuff done. I think I was lucky enough to kind of just work with flexibility for the last couple of years, so I kind of transferred into it smoothly enough. But I can imagine if someone's coming out of a very corporate role into this, just like, what the fuck do I do now? No one told me what to do. But yeah, a blessed and a cursed. It's a good point. Same as myself. Somebody just back to me again, or you can give us a fresh one this time.
No. That's my third. Yeah, that's my third one done.
What are you looking at them on now? Is that also Google Calendar?
I was looking at the Google Calendar there.
Oh shit! I had somewhere to be.
No. I was just checking to give examples of that. Okay. Let me see.
Right.
So I can't go.
Sorry?
I can't go. We can't take it out of order, so it's you to go now.
I had a few to get through. Because I had smacked a few down, right?
Well, there's 6.
Massive one actually. This is huge for me doing anything. Noise cancellation headphones. Huge. I got myself last Christmas. I got the Sony WM5, something like that. To be fair, it's one thing I always ask for. Don't get a whole lot for Christmas now, but every couple of years I'll ask for a pair of good headphones. So I get them, but they're unbelievable. They've got a top-notch noise cancellation, so I slap them in and you hear nothing. It's like you're in an empty room. So they've actually also got a voice activation on them, so whoever's wearing them, they can pick up your voice. So I use them for my cold outreach. So when I've got my earphones in underneath them, have music on, as soon as anyone picks up the phone and I start speaking, then it pauses them and goes to normal noise. But I found them absolutely huge for me, to be able to not have, like, be able to listen to your music while you're still doing that focused work. without having to plug out headphones, pause music,
Yeah.
and just the silence in the background. I wouldn't be able to do my focused work without them. No way. Just the general chit chat in the office, like not even people annoying you, just I'd get distracted. I'd hear someone talking about something more interesting and I'd be turned around. Yeah, next step for me is getting the fucking blinkers like a racehorse. But they were huge for me, to be fair. I can't work without them.
Yeah, speaking about blinkers, when I would wear the wired headphones, and I still do now, they were like blinkers because
Stop you turning.
yeah, it stops you turning. So like you go to turn, but they're plugged into the computer, so you can't move. They're genius.
I don't know, man.
the
I'd
second I
move
put
and
them
I'd
in-
pull them out and then I'd hit the roof.
The second I put them in, I'm like, all right, I'm zoned in. I'm looking forward here
Yeah.
now. I can't move. Yeah, that's a huge one. The noise cancellation.
Yeah.
It's massive because everyone's just sitting around having chit chats, whatever. Like
But
you can take advantage.
The
of that.
office is noisy too. Do you know what I mean? You've got 6 people or 7 people in your corner on the phone at the same time. So yeah, to be able to cut that out is massive.
Yeah, mine's quite similar. Mine is I spoke about this, the timer.
I had that down as well, actually. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Brian, the first man to come up with a fucking
No, well, like
stopwatch.
no, because usually I've seen them on the way down, like as in a timer going down. Like this is a 90-minute, and then it counts down.
I'll change it down if you want.
Huh?
I'll change it to a clock working down. the way if that's what you
No.
want.
But then I saw it. I saw it from somewhere else. I don't know where it was. I think it was
Will
a
uses
video.
one.
He used it because I use it.
Did he not have the twist one?
No, but that could only go down. That couldn't go up.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Will had the downwards one.
Oh yeah, but I saw a video about. Anyways, I saw a
Tangent,
video of this, and it's a stopwatch. Like it's just on your phone of it, like the timer. You click start, and then that's when your focus work starts. So during that time, there's no distractions. There's no flicking onto your phone. There's no going on to a different task. It's doing the exact task that you set aside. So it could be cold outreach. So you schedule in if you've got an hour and a half in your timetable or 2 hours, whatever it may be, how many focused periods within that 2 hour block can I get through? And then your timer, you stop and restart every single time that you get distracted. So every time that a WhatsApp comes in and you go onto the WhatsApp and reply to them, and then you're like, oh, I need to go back to this. You stop, restart, go. And then it's the same if somebody interrupts you, like stop, restart, go. And this just it becomes a competition with yourself to see how long you can get to do the task without getting distracted. But it also just trains yourself not to be distracted and keep on the one task. And it makes you conscious about how many times you get distracted when you've blocked out an hour and a half or 2 hours to do your task. How many times do I actually get distracted within that?
I think though it would be good, instead of stopping it and restarting it, if you hit pause, because at the end of the hour and a half, like you'll actually see what you've actually got done. At the end of that hour and a half, like I've only done 40 minutes work here.
What, you click restart?
No, instead of hitting restart, just pause it when you get distracted. So by the time that hour and a half block is up, you look at the clock and be like, I've only done 45 minutes here.
Yeah, true. But like there's times where I just can't avoid it, like where I have to restart it. Like I haven't seen it go over like 40 minutes, like ever.
Yeah.
Because somebody just comes over and like taps you on the shoulder and grabs you.
I think it does have that secondary benefit though of people in the office now know, like, if you're sitting there with the timer on, like, do not disturb.
Yeah, and it seems cuntish, but like, so what? Like,
It's not really though. It's cuntish when you turn around and you're like, what? But if they see the timer and they know you're working.
no, it's cuntish when I don't turn around after them saying something. I'm like, I've said this. Don't distract me if it's not important. WhatsApp me.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Like, as I mean, like your time is the most valuable asset. Like, 100%. That's one thing I learned. That's a massive takeaway from my first year. But those focus blocks, because you can waste the day doing absolutely nothing, replying to WhatsApps, replying to emails. But when you're going through those focus periods and you're keeping conscious of the stopwatch, then you might pause it like within the 2 hour block. Like, I'm not saying don't reply to WhatsApps within 2 hours or whatever, but you might pause it, go reply to your WhatsApps all in bulk, like 8 or 9 of them, whatever, flip back onto task, start the stopwatch and keep going. Like, because you can just go down a spiral of distractions otherwise, because there's all these things vying for your attention. So you have to be so like, yeah, it just has to be non-negotiable. You have to be so just, yeah, serious with that and just block out that time. You had that down, did you?
I had that one down, but that one is very much so your hack, to be fair.
It's not my hack. I piggybacked somebody else's hack.
Well, in the sense of this, it's your hack. Okay, what one do I want to go on to now? Because I skipped one and I don't know which one it was.
Yeah, I did.
Oh yeah, I got one. One that I love doing. I don't do it every week. Do an odd week though. Is getting out of the office one of the days. Just go and work in a cafe, change the scenery. It almost feels like a day off, but you're still being productive. Like that cafe beside the office, it's literally 2 doors down. But I go and sit in there. It's nice, ACs. It's always fresh. No one messing with the temperature. They bring you coffee. They bring you dates. Just sitting there and working away, and it's grand.
Dates the fruit.
What dates? Oh yeah, just bringing women up to me. Like.
No, but yeah. And that's really quiet, that one in there.
It's class. It's class. I love it in there, man. You get so much done. Fucking fly, man.
I told you should have washed before.
I'm going on 4 days now. I don't need one. No, but yeah, I swear to God, right. He's annoying me now.
There's a fly just going around Liam.
It must be the smell of shit.
You're like a dog.
And I'll get him yet.
He's
anyway,
fine.
Back to the point. Getting out of the office one day a week, whether it's anything. I don't know if it advised staying at home and working from home.
No,
Look, some days I could sit at home and work from home and I'd be just as productive, and other days I could stay at home and I'll decide to treat myself for breakfast, and then I'll have a nice lunch and maybe about 6 cups of tea in the meantime. But yeah, find yourself a nice quiet cafe, sit there, change the scenery. Yeah, and if you get the same focus work done, bring your headphones, bring the timer on your phone. It's nice. It's just nice to get a break from the office. Kind of breaks up your week nicely. If you can even do that, like I like to do it on a Thursday. You know, coming towards the end of the week, talk to me after saying about the fucking social construct of a weekend, but like you're the heavy lifting of the week is over at that stage. Do you know what I mean? It's nice to just get out of the office on that Thursday and do a bit of work somewhere else. That for me, has been massive. It's refreshing more than anything else.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's a good one. Yeah. I don't know if I'd be able to
personally, you don't do it.
No, I said personally. Like I was about to say personally, I wouldn't do it. I don't know. I don't know.
Me, I think
too much of a creature of habit. Like
I just like to change the scenery, something different.
Yeah, you can get quite sick of the office, like after being there for a while, but such is life.
Such is life. What's next,
one
Chief?
for me is physical exertion. So it could be whatever your idea of exercise is. I used to always just do this in the evenings after work, or in the past. In the past, I would do it after college or in the middle of college or after school when I was in secondary school. The biggest hack for me is doing that in the morning.
Yeah.
Like the days that I haven't been to the gym or haven't been out in the park running or even haven't been out for a walk, like whatever exercise looks like for you, like try and get that in before work, like, because if you're not in the office until like 9 a.m, like serious amounts of time before that. I never understand what people get up to if they just literally roll out of bed at 8:30 and you're in the office at 9, like, and you're not awake until 10 or 11 or whatever. Like I notice the days that I don't go to the gym, I'm not out in the park, like I'm absolutely wrecked. I'm just asleep. So it's just like doing something difficult, waking up, just rubbing off the cobwebs. Running has been massive for me. Like to be able to get out to the park before work is such a blessing, first of all. But second of all, yeah, it just gets your body moving. Like.
And it is tough. It's actually disgusting having to get up if you're still tired and have the thought of having to go in and do legs or something on a Monday morning. It's grim. And as soon as you're halfway through that first set, you're just like, oh, class.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, it's just literally just getting your body moving. But another hack within that is go to a gym beside your office or run around somewhere beside your office. Like for us, we're so lucky that our office is on the Palm. We can run around the park, like literally just outside the office, and go to the gym. I continually see my clients, my past clients in the park, like every single morning. Like I might see one or two or whatever, and it's just gotten to a stage where we're always seeing each other. Like they'd be out walking the dog and shout across the park, like.
We got 2 inquiries from the gym last week alone.
Literally, I then another guy from the gym. I always see another client in the gym who had been going there, and then a guy who called from Property Finder, and at the end of the call was like, "Oh, by the way, do you go to Top Gym?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, I see every day." And I was like, "That's mad." So like it's massive just being a face in the community. Like this guy like isn't a quick snatch and grab of just getting commission and running off. It's just like, no, this guy is going to be in the community for a long time. He's going to be the go-to guy for whatever. So it's just like, I love being able to see them. And like, I want it to be a stage where in like 5 years time, I'm going through the park and I know loads of faces, like, because that's like literally the aim of the game. Like you need to build your brand, you need to build your business, you need to be somebody who is associated with the community. Like
getting invited around for barbecues on Sundays.
Yeah, so whatever it may be, like, and
it is
the referrals that will come through that. It's just like, who'd you say hi to there? Oh, he's a real estate agent. He works up in Palm. I did whatever with him. I closed this deal. It's like, oh, I could do with that.
But people love helping. Do you know what I mean? If I had this great fella that I bought cars off, and you were looking to buy a car, and I knew this fella was going to help you so much, I'm happy to refer him. Do you know what I mean? I want you to buy off him because it reflects well on me. I helped you out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if they know you're that person that's going to be good for their referrals, they'd be happy to do it. I can remember coming over first, people like, oh, go to the gym. Like you meet people in the gym, and like we've been there, 5 months now. I'm like, this is bollocks. Like you don't just meet clients in the gym, like, but after time when you're there every single day, you do
organically. I wouldn't be one like. I remember the guy we were speaking to. He was like, oh, like you should be going up to people speaking in the gym. It's like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, no, like that hour is mine. Like I'm not there for business. I'm not there for networking. I'm just there for the gym.
Imagine someone come up to you in the gym. It's like, hi, would you like to buy some internet? Hi, I'm Greta from Do. Yeah.
But yeah, when it comes organically as a byproduct, then it's massive. It's that's a hack within a hack. So yeah. Do you have any more hacks?
Oh, I could write you a binder full of hacks. Are you all out, are you?
No, I'm not all out.
Then sure, go no. Oh, that was your one. Okay, that was my deep focus clock one. Yeah, you hit that one.
But this is your 6th.
I've got 2 more. We go for days.
Okay, but we don't want to run on all evening.
No, okay. Yeah, huge one. I think taking baby steps. I think the whole industry of real estate is so fucking overwhelming. There's so much going on. Primary, secondary, rental, sales, off-plan, like videographers, there's just so much shit happening. I think when you start out, you need to just do the first things first, like do your basics. I remember at home, as I was speaking about earlier on, when I had a small business set up at home, like, and I've seen Instagram pages doing the same stuff, and I was like, oh my God, they're so far ahead of me. Like how could I ever do that? Like I'm so far behind. But when you bring it back to basics, just like, this is the job I'm here to do. This is what I'll do. And just keep doing that and stacking those things on top of each other. And I think same goes for this. Like just get your stock up, reach out to clients, and then provide a good service.
Yeah.
Stock, service, and just keep doing it, and the rest of it will come. Like I'm only after sorting my Instagram out last week.
Yeah.
And that's late. Like I should have hopped on that sooner. But I just need to do the basics. Like it's not important. Like I haven't been speaking to many people that were like, I get a load of leads from Instagram. So that took a back foot for me, because I'm not exactly the type of person that, like, I'm fucking not the most tech savvy. Like, do you know what I mean? Flat putting up Instagrams and everything's not what I want to be doing all day. But I've got around to the stage like, all right, I've got the stuff in the past and the lockdown, I can move on to this now. But I think you can definitely get overwhelmed by the amount of stuff, like property videos. I'm doing publishing and bollocks. Like, yeah, just do the small bits right. Don't bite off more than you can do. Baby steps. yeah, take it one thing at a time, I think for me helped massively anyway.
I think that's a really good one. I was thinking about that this week from a quote that I saw. He said, like, learn the rules of the game before you try and break them. So just like do the basics, learn the simple things, and once you're confident enough at that, then start pushing the boundaries, start thinking outside the box. But yeah, there's so much you can be doing. Like,
so much.
Like, there's so many different ideas of like, oh, like I could start doing this and like emails and like just leased and just listed and WhatsApps and but it's fundamentally, like, at its core, it's an easy, like, basic job.
Yeah.
It can be.
It's because there's so many people doing it, trying to be different, that they're going down all these different avenues, and it feels like, oh, well, they're doing that, I'm not doing that. They're doing that, I'm not doing that. Like, you don't need to do all that shit.
Yeah.
Just
but that's one thing. Yeah.
do the basics. Like, and I even myself, it was like 2 weeks ago, I saw some real estate agent's Instagram, and I was like, oh, that's so good. Like, he's doing this and this. Like, that's class. Like, and that's what gave me the kick to even start my Instagram. I was like, how will I ever get to that? And I was like, I don't need to fucking worry about that. Maybe just worry about getting the Instagram set up first. And I was like, Grant, baby steps, just get the Instagram set up and go from there.
That's a really good one. And when you gave me that example in the past of the time that you were looking at other Instagrammers and being like, oh, like, and then that put into perspective like how far away you were from them. Like, I think about that. That was really good, and I needed that. When you told me that story that time, I was like, oh yeah, that's so fair.
Does you get swamped in it? Like,
yeah, you just like, oh, like you think it's decent, whatever you're putting out, and then you see something unbelievable.
Yeah.
But it's just like, yeah, it's just like this thing that you open. It's just like the more you
Pandora's
know,
box.
yeah, the more you just realize you don't know. Like, it's just like, once you're in the video production industry or whatever, once we started doing reels, I was just like, oh, these reels are so good.
How did it do this?
Yeah,
like,
and then you only realize that once you're in that sphere.
Yeah, I think the easiest way to sum it up is just, there is levels to this shit for everything.
And pick a few things. Pick like 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, whatever, and just get really good at those instead of being just like doing 10 or 20 like half hours. Like,
spreading
some
yourself
days don't, whatever. Yeah, this is my 6th because we were going to do 6th.
I'll throw in a bonus one at the end, and you'll like it.
Bonus one. 6th is Seasons of Saying No. This is really hard. Like in Dubai, it's really hard in this industry. It's really hard when you've got a load of friends here. Like,
we don't.
I'm just saying, like, if you do, we've got more than I used to. Like, when I first came over here, it wasn't that hard to say no, because the things that I was saying no to, I didn't want to fucking do anyways.
Yeah. No, 100%, I agree. It's just funny.
But, yeah. But it's the seasons of saying no. It's just like whatever comes up, you say no to. Like, I used to be so bad with doing something just for the sake of it, just because somebody asked. I didn't know what I wanted, and what I wanted to do and didn't want to do, I just felt indifferent about it, and I just went along anyways because it wasn't screaming out a no to me, or I shouldn't do it. But like, if you're not completely compelled to do something, just say no. And it's really important at the start to just keep saying no to the things. Like, every Saturday, every second Saturday, when we ask, it's time to shout
give
Tommy,
him a shout out. Yeah,
Tommy out. It's time to shout him out. The literal, like, yeah, man.
We're starting to think you don't like us, Tommy, to be fair.
No, that man will be there every, like, yeah, so consistent.
He was there yesterday, and the rain was up to halfway up our shins.
Yeah, he'll be there. Like, he's such a man for his word. But every weekend, like, if somebody asks him to do something, like last week we asked him, did he want to go out, and he said no. Like, I don't even say anything after. Like, I just get into the car and I'm just like,
yeah. We said, well, I said to him yesterday, it's like, oh, we go out and watch the rugby or something.
No, yeah,
there was something yesterday.
Acebo, we were gonna go for
that's what it was.
He said
he's
no.
like, oh, I don't know about it. And I said, oh, no worries at all. And I hung up the phone, and Brian was just like, yes, just keep fucking saying no.
I'm
Tommy,
delighted.
Like,
every
season of
single
no
time. Every single time. Like, last week is a perfect example. Like, he said no, and I just smiled and just got into the car, and I was just like, I fucking love that. Like,
yeah,
I love that. Like, I love that because he's at the start of a really important time, and it's definitely hard to say no to those things. Like, it's definitely hard, but it's doing the difficult things. It's saying no to what you want instantly for your future self. Like, and I've so much fucking respect for that. Like, it's outrageous. Like, yeah, so I thought of that yesterday, and I thought of that there. But it's the seasons of saying no. It's saying no to the short term pleasure and saying yes to your long term self, like, and just future thinking and
I think
like, how will this serve me?
You need to know too, though, obviously the things that will serve and things that won't serve you, because there's a lot of things you'll be like, I don't know if I want to do this, and say no, where it could actually be beneficial too, though.
Yeah, true.
Like, I think pushing the, like, there's a difference between things that are going to take away from you and things that are just, you want to say no because they're pushing boundaries that might actually be beneficial too.
Yeah, like,
I think they're two completely different things.
Yeah, getting into that, like, I think, but like, I mean, just saying no to the stuff that you shouldn't be doing. Like,
that instant gratification, no.
Yeah, like the going out, the boat parties,
Tommy, this one goes to you.
Yeah, shout out to Tommy for that one. Shout out to
Mr. Emirates Living.
Mr. Emirates Living. If you need anything Emirates Living, give Tommy a shout. Right, your
my
bonus round.
Take a fucking day off.
Yeah.
Take a day off. I think it's huge. It's so easy to get wrapped up over here in just, I need to work, like hustle. But I think you need to take that day off. Get your Sunday reset in. Saturday, whatever it is for you.
But it was yesterday for us.
But I think just taking that day off on something that is strenuous enough to take your mind off work, though. Do you know what I mean? I find if I take a Sunday off, and I'm getting out of the apartment after this. Like, if I take a Sunday off and sit here for a day, like, I woke up at 9 this morning, I feel like a piece of shit. Like, it's like, I need to get out of the apartment today. But do something strenuous that will take your mind off work, something that will completely empty your head of the stress, because the weeks do roll into each other without them. I think for me especially, I fucking crack up. I think you might be a bit better than me. The fact, well, you're good with your recharges, to be fair, but before I came, like, you were doing your 7 days a week. I physically can't.
I wasn't, but continue.
Yeah. No, I need it for myself, like, because, as I said, the blessing and the curse with the flexibility of real estate. Like, it's so easy to get swept in replying to WhatsApps, or I'll just send this, or I'll just do this on that day of rest. So trying to just completely switch off on a day, getting down to the Playbook Run Club on a Saturday.
30 members.
30 members, yeah, impressive going, isn't it?
I know. Meetup.com. I think that's. I don't know. I've had such issues in the past. Like, I think it's all about how you define a day off. Like, sometimes when I would tell somebody I've got a day off, like in the past, this is back in Ireland, and they'd be like, "Oh, what are you doing today?" It's like, "Oh, I'm going for a run in a gym session." They're like, "Well, that's not a day off." Yeah. It's like, no, that's your fucking definition of a day off. Like, that's not my definition of a day off. If I done what you do for your day off, then I'd lose
that wouldn't
my
be my
mind.
day off. Yeah,
it wouldn't be. I would lose my mind. Like, because yesterday was a storm and everyone was staying, like, we sat on like the couch, but like, we did a 5K and I did a gym session and I was still itching sitting on the couch, like, driving me mental. Like, so that's something I need to deal with also.
So much so, Brian actually walked and did his shopping for one. He didn't get it delivered. He went to the shop himself.
But I couldn't. I didn't want to risk a Talabat driver having to swim here.
You
with
wanted
his
to leave
armbands.
the house.
Well, I did. But like, yeah, I think it's important to define your own day off. Like nobody's
know
definition.
yourself. What does it for you? Like,
and yeah, it's there's no real true definition of a day off. It's whatever you make it into. So that was really important for me. Like, as in, yeah, like, I only did a few viewings today. Today is not really a day off. Yesterday was a bit more of a day off. Yeah, like today we're doing the podcast, a few viewings.
But we'll chill for the evening. Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna go out and do something now.
Get ourselves set up for the week.
Yeah,
that's another bonus hack in there. But yeah, getting ourselves set up for the week on a
It's
Sunday.
not even a hack. That's an essential.
That is an essential. You have to be doing.
Yeah.
One
It's
must
the
do
bare
it.
minimum. Like,
Oh my god! I told you this. I always say this. I drank once on a Sunday, like within my first month or two of being here, and it was the worst decision ever. I was in the back foot till Tuesday. So,
that's a decent list to hack.
that is a lot of hacks. That's an hour worth of hacks.
There you go. Didn't think we had that kind of knowledge in us.
No, but apparently we do.
Yeah, look, hopefully someone finds use in them anyway.
Hopefully somebody takes something from that. Yeah, that's a lot. That can be very overwhelming. If you're to take one thing from that, like that could just massively increase your
Absolutely.
performance. And those things interlink, like in
But those
terms
are-
of performance within work.
They're minimal inputs too, like,
Yeah.
really. Like, your deep focus clock. Turn on the fucking stopwatch on your phone, like, taking the day off.
Test them out.
That can't be too hard.
Yeah.
You know, so some of them, yeah.
And
Give them a
those are things like there's other ones that I didn't want to include there because I haven't tested them out, like, but those are the ones that we consistently do, like every single week, like the small hacks. So it's worked for us.
But
Hope it
one
works for
last
you.
thing, Brian.
What?
Get your thought provoking question.
Oh, don't. We'll do that next
I got
week.
him on the hop. I have mine ready.
Do you?
Yeah.
No, Liam, I didn't think that we were going to be doing this week.
That's it. Fail to prepare. Jump mine anyway.
Yeah.
You
go
don't
on.
get to ask me one though.
Okay.
Right. In the last week, after speaking about hacks and all the rest, and a productive week, what's one thing in the last week you regret doing or not doing, personal or professional?
Drinking last Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like I'm training towards that marathon, like as in like every single thing I need to be serious like for the next 8 weeks. Like even though like on Saturday we drank and I try and justify saying that it's a recharge, like Monday and Tuesday like I was wrecked and half of Wednesday and I couldn't pinpoint what it was, like because I'm so like, yeah, with the whoop and everything, like I'm able to pinpoint things that like in my life, any additions, any things that have taken away, like because my Monday to Sunday looks relatively similar, but I was wrecked Monday and Tuesday and I didn't know what it was. But the only factor that it could have been is drinking Saturday. There was no any extra stressors. I wasn't.
And you had
working
taken the
later.
whoop off for it, didn't you?
Yeah. So like, yeah, like I don't want to keep resetting my progress every third or every second week or whatever that may be. Like, so yeah, that was it for me. Like it was the only thing that was in my week that could have thrown me off because I wasn't working harder, I wasn't training harder, I wasn't doing whatever. So that's the only thing I could point to because of my tiredness on Monday and Tuesday that I regret going through the week. But
Yeah, and probably
I
the
don't
fact that we went, like, that was a long day. Brunch is all right. Like, if you go for a brunch and you come home, it's so acceptable.
Yeah.
You know, food and a bit of drink. But obviously we went out to a festival afterwards. That's probably where the damage was done.
that would do it.
Yeah.
That would do it.
All right, Brian, you don't have the pleasure of asking me a question this week.
I'll ask you next
You
week.
don't have, that's, yeah.
I'm going to get you badly. I'm going to think. I'm going to mull over for a week.
Don't give me the heads up, Brian, because I'll start digging. Pull up something from your past.
Oh, you don't know me long enough for that.
You don't know me, son. Okay,
yeah,
well,
that's,
look.
that's the bulk of it. Appreciate
Yeah.
everybody listening, and as we said, we hope you took away some value of that.
Yeah, look, we will probably stick these up on Instagram under one of the posts. Anyway, just the bullet points. Make them easier for anyone that wants to make a list out of them. But yeah, that's pretty much it, no?
That's it. Yeah, if you haven't already followed us on Instagram, that's where our updates will be. And then that's where the link to the Playbook Social is. So yeah, special thanks to anybody who's listened this far.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
Good luck.